You're on the Goodol'boys YouTube channel.
Well, shit. Oh! Whoa. Quick little update here on the 2016 3500 Duramax dually. So we're cleaning out the interior. Basically, I've gone ahead and swept the floor. There really wasn't much to it. There was it was a little bit of moisture. Now it's mostly dried up, so I've just had the doors open. I'm airing it out basically. So the moisture got into the back window obviously when it was busted out. The seats here, hopefully you guys can tell, there's a little bit of molding issue going on. Nothing too serious. We should be able to clean this up without too much hassle here. I'm not too awful worried about it. We'll get a close up there for you guys to see. This is literally just soap, water, and a brush. You guys can see it's looking really good, even in the cracks and crevices. So one of the issues I was having with just the sponge and leather cleaner is that in all these little grooves in here in the leather, you'd still have all that kind of nastiness stuck in between the grooves. So you kind of need some kind of a brush if you're dealing with this specific situation here. So this is what the seat looked like before here. This side we just haven't cleaned yet, and then this is after cleaning. So and this is without any conditioner or anything. This is literally just soap and water and brushed, and you guys can see it's already coming out great. So let's go over to the other side. I'll show you guys how we got here. I've got some normal dish soap and a mop bucket here, and then a brush with some nice bristles. They're how would I describe this? Probably right between a hard and a soft brush, so kind of like a medium brush. You can see they're nice and pointy. So take this, get the excess water off it, just kind of start scrubbing. And the best results for this I found is, so when we're looking down on the brush, you don't want the bristles to be crushed like this. You want to be on the tips of the bristles. So you can hear a difference between a smashed down brush and a not smashed down brush. You can see or hear that's like riding on the very top edges of bristles. Take the towel and just wipe it down, and you guys can see we're looking pretty darn good compared to the part that we haven't washed. A little update here. All the seats are completely done as far as the brushing and soap goes, so they've been brushed off. Now what we're going to do is go ahead and wipe down all the hard parts, so like the door panels, the dashboard, the steering wheel, all that stuff that's not leather, we're going to wipe down with disinfecting wipes. And again, this step is just to prevent further mold from forming. So again, we'll just wipe down all the hard parts. I'm going to go ahead and do the entire truck, and then we'll be back. After the soap and water, we're going to take this stuff, spray it on a rag, rub it around on the seats. When I'm done with this, we'll come back and show you guys the results. All right, guys, so we're pretty much finished with this, but I've got some really important information. So this stuff here, it actually works. So I didn't expect it to work. Here's the rags. You can see, you know, they're kind of dirty, grungy. And here's an example of a corner that's not really been used on the yellow rag. Same with the orange rag. So I'm really amazed this stuff actually works. Most of the time, this stuff seems like it's just a gimmick or it doesn't do that much, but it actually works. So on the driver's seat here, I don't know if you guys can tell the difference in the camera just by looking at it, but a couple things here with this stuff. So the soap and water gets it pretty good, but this stuff, it takes it to the extra 2-3% amount of better, if you guys understand that. So what I mean by that is basically it just takes the smaller details, stuff like this that's hard to get to, these cracks, for example. you guys can see how clean those cracks are. So before, those had dirt in them, and from a distance they were really noticeable. So this stuff actually helped clean that up. It also seemed to bring the brightness back out of the leather just a little bit. You guys can see a little bit of shine on the leather in the camera. And then also I'm getting just a teeny tiny hint of that wonderful, awesome leathery smell out of the seats. So this stuff is actually working out pretty well. You know, I just picked this up at the local Walmart, so couldn't have expected anything better. Actually worked pretty well. So I do kind of highly recommend this stuff now. Like I said, I'm very surprised. This is the middle step. We're moving on to the final step. So we have some leather conditioner from Meguiar's. We're going to apply this next, but before we do that, I'm going to show you guys a little bit of a trick that I'm going to do. And I'm by no means an interior detailer guy or anything like that. It's like 55 degrees out. We're in Ohio. It's not exactly moist, but we're getting to the rainy season. And so it's a little bit humid, a little bit cooler. And basically what I'm getting at here is we need to make sure the interior is nice and dried out before we apply the leather conditioner. I mean, honestly, I don't know if it really matters or not, but this thing could use dried out on the inside anyway. So I'll just cut to the chase here. Basically, I'm going to put a dehumidifier in my truck. I'm not sure how long, maybe a couple hours, maybe a couple days. We'll see. All right, guys, so here's the setup. We have our dehumidifier. So first of all, we'll show you guys, this thing is empty. No water in here at all. Hopefully you guys can see that. Well, guys, minor setback this morning. Come out here, this thing is laying over on its side. So we got all this water that we collected. It's gone right back into the floor. Man. Oh well. Dry this up and let this run for another day and a half. Got a couple logs up under the carpet there because it's wet underneath, and then there's a little bit of a plastic liner on the underside of the carpet here, which you guys can see here. So obviously we can't get moisture out of it that way. So yeah, we got a little spacer in there, and hopefully the under carpet will dry out a little quicker that way. Also, it's going to take an earthquake to tip this thing over this time. So we got a board on top of a towel, and this thing is strapped down. So no matter what, it's not going to tip over. All right, so we're going to start this test again here. So you can see there's just a little bit of residual water down in here. This is what's left after everything else dumped out. So now we're going to take this thing, put it in here, and we're gonna power this thing up. All right, we'll leave it for a day and a half, see what we get. All right, guys, so we've had the dehumidifier running for a couple days. The carpet is drying out a little bit, but it's not gonna completely dry out. So what I'm gonna do is off camera, I'll probably just take the seat out, flip the carpet up, and run the dehumidifier for a little while longer. But like I said, we're just not going to put that on camera. I can do that off camera. It's not really that big of a deal. But as far as the rest of the interior goes, it's very dry, it's warm. All right, so we'll take a quick look here. And wow, we have quite a bit of water. I'll give you guys a good visual of this. Yeah. So here's the leather conditioner. Here's the directions. So pretty simple. So I think what we're gonna do is just make it easy. Spray it on the seats. I think this is probably the best way to get coverage quickly. Just work it into the leather. All right, I'm gonna do this on the entire truck, and then we'll come back and show you guys the results. All right, so here's the final product. Now, product is still probably not fully cured or fully soaked into the leather, but this is sprayed on, worked into the leather, and then I've gone over it again and got any of the excess off with another dry cloth. So this is more or less what it's going to be like, and this stuff is pretty nice. It's got like an old spicy kind of smell to it, and you can see hopefully it's kind of shined the leather back up, gave it a little bit of moisture. It's conditioned the leather basically. But it's nice because it's not like Armor All. You're not going to be slipping and sliding all over the seats. It's pretty nice overall. I like it. Everything's looking a whole lot better. Driver and passenger seat are looking way better. Again, you can see a little bit of that shine on the leather. Here's a quick look at the other side. So again, it's just kind of restored the leather and definitely brought it back from where it was. All right, guys, so that's going to be it for now. I want to thank you guys for watching. Thanks for coming along on this journey. Don't forget to rate, comment, and subscribe. We're going to have lots more videos on this truck. If you guys haven't seen the first video, I'll link it in the description box below. It's kind of the intro to this truck, so be sure to check that video out. That's it for now, guys. We'll catch you guys on the next one. Woo!
It's all about humanity.